Siebert, and today's tab art lesson is Media Madness. You guys are only going to have 4 minutes, and then you're going to rotate clockwise, and you're going to experiment with all these different art mediums. You get to use crayon, marker, colored pencil, Sharpie, and for 2 tables, graphite pencils today. Medium is in this column, and an art element is associated with each table station. The big idea here is really that artistic behavior of stretch and explore. You guys are really exploring today. So you're going to have a piece of paper, and you're going to have 6 sections, and on each section you'll be stretching and exploring with a different art medium. So in the end, if you label them all, you'll be able to refer back to this like a mark-making dictionary. So artists make choices about the different media that they use because they have different characteristics. I really want you to think about what material allows you to make a very precise mark and what materials might be smudgier or blend more easily, and really think about the unique characteristics of these different art media. At the crayon table, I want you to think about the art element of shape, because your challenge at that table is to try all the techniques on the note card. When you peel a crayon, you know, and use the side of it, you know that looks really different than when you use the point. What are all the different ways that you can use a crayon to get different marks? If you have time, there is a shape challenge of trying to create a form by adding highlight and shadow. The marker table, you're working with the art element of line. The art elements are the basic tools that artists have to work with. The most basic elements out of which we can make art. At the next table, you have colored pencils. The art element is color. I just want you to focus on pressing lightly, on pressing firmly, and on creating different layers. So one way to mix color is by making a thin layer of one color and then layering another over the top. Press firmly with colored pencils, it can almost look like paint. So really try an area that has thick colored pencil. Sharpie is the next table. You have thick Sharpie and thin Sharpie. Your challenge at this table is to create pattern. The art element of pattern is seen in art like Zentangle. It's seen in the Indian art of henna tattoos. So the last 2 tables have the same art medium. The graphite pencils. When you guys come to class and you have a number 2 pencil, you can see that pencil has a label on it that says HB. Baskets, I want you to see if you can figure out the difference between an HB pencil, which is exactly the same as your number 2 pencil. There's 3B, there's 5B pencils in here, and 6B. Which pencil do you think will make the darkest mark? Which pencil do you think will make the lightest mark? Don't answer me now. Experiment with them and see if you can figure it out for yourself. There are also other tools in this bin. Different types of erasers, big erasers, pencil end erasers. You can make marks by erasing. Mark with the pencil and then blend, blend, blend with a smudge stick. You can really use it to make a smooth mark. You try to make a mark that is smooth, rough, soft, hard, jagged. see if you can create those illusions just with the pencil and the eraser and the blending stick. For this last final table, you're using graphite again and focusing on the art element of value. Value just means the lights and the darks. I define that art element because it really is an art vocabulary word. Musicians will often have a warm-up of maybe playing the scales. One way that artists warm up and get used to using a different art medium is by doing value scales and seeing if they can make them go from light to dark. So at this table, there are different mark-making techniques like hatch, crosshatch, stipple, smooth and squiggly. And I want you to experiment with those mark-making techniques in order to see if you can get them to go from light to dark. The closer together your marks are, the darker your value. First, you're going to fold your paper in half the long way and crease it. Then, turn it this way. Then you need to have thirds, 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So if you take the two outer edges and fold them so they overlap, and then you smush them down, you will get a piece of paper that has 6 sections, so you can try the 6 different Media Madness challenges.